Well, here it is. The long-awaited G.I. Joe Battle for the Arctic Circle, powered by Axis and Allies, is finally here. We can't wait to crack this one open and see what's inside. So, let's make it cold? No, whatever. Yo, Joe. Welcome to Board Game Nation. My name is Gary Blevins. Thank you so much for watching. And a special thanks to our friends at Renegade Game Studios for sending this copy free of charge. Still, all the opinions are mine and haven't been approved or reviewed by anyone else. G.I. Joe Battle for the Arctic Circle, powered by Axis and Allies, is definitely a mouthful, and a little background here would probably be helpful. Over the past few years, Renegade Game Studios has been acquiring the licenses for a slew of intellectual properties from Hasbro that have been really popular but have otherwise been collecting dust inside of the megacorp. They picked up the rights to make tabletop and roleplay games for My Little Pony, Power Rangers, Vampire the Masquerade, Axis and Allies, and G.I. Joe. Now, they also recently relaunched HeroScape, which should be a lot of fun. Now, the folks at Renegade know that everyone loves a good crossover, and that is what brings us today's game. G.I. Joe Battle for the Arctic Circle uses the base mechanics and the branding of Axis and Allies to combine these two classic franchises. Let's dive in and see how they did. All right, friends, we've been looking forward to this one. Let's go ahead and dive right in. We'll check out all the sides after we get the plastic off here. All right, so there's the box top. Looks like we got a little bit of damage. Maybe that came in shipping. We'll see. Let's see what we have on the back. Pretty good. Includes 3 scenarios, the commander cards, the hex map. There's a list of components. We'll have some more detail about that in a minute. Over 100 plastic miniatures. That's pretty cool. 14 and up, 2 to 4 players, 90 minutes. That all sounds about right. Let's see. We got our Cobra and Destro. Snow Job on that side. Snow Job and Admiral Keelhaul, and then just Cobra on the side here. Let's see what we got inside. Oh, there's Destro back there on the Weather Dominator Mark II. Mark II. All right, so box top. There we go. The ad from our friends at Renegade. This is new from. This is different than what was in Guadalcanal, so that's cool. Let's see what we got. All right, we got a rule book. Kind of a newspaper print, but color looks pretty good. Nice big font. Some space here. Looks pretty good. We've got a full how to play video that's available, so you can go through all of this. This is an interesting choice. I really like this. The setup charts are actually as pictures in the rule book, so you don't have a separate cardboard thing that you've got to keep track of, or put back in the box or whatever. But so that's pretty handy. So and those are the 3 scenarios and the different setups for the different scenarios. So that's pretty cool. And then there's the credits, and then some. This is the first time I've seen this in any Axis and Allies book. There's a strategy advice page on the back, and I'll have some thoughts about that later. But and then here's a quick reference sheet for the combat sequence, which is pretty handy. So yeah, all in all, a pretty nice rule book. So, I like it. We've got our punch cards here. These are the ice hexes that Cobra will have, as well as the control markers. Control markers they're double-sided for the different powers, but on the same side. So I think this is Snow Job, and this is Keelhaul, right? And this is Cobra, and that's Destro. So that's pretty cool. And then a couple of the other markers are in there. These are the commander cards and some more Cobra markers. That's fun. And then, of course, the Weather Dominator has its own card, though it's not on the map. So anyway, so those are the commander cards. Pretty cool. Here is the big map. We'll get back to that in just a second. Renegade, they do love their plastic bags, and I love them for it, so that's pretty cool. We've got, 8 combat dice, blue and black. So there's those. And then, of course, the pieces for the different powers. That's Cobra and Destro, Snow Job, and Admiral Keelhaul. We'll look more at those in a second. This game comes with gray and green chips. There's no red chips in this particular version because there's stacking limits in the different hexes, so you're not going to get to where there's 50 guys in the same hex, almost certainly. So those are there. Another plastic bag because Renegade. It comes with 2 player aids, which are going to be handy. They've got all the unit information on there. and then some additional information. The scenario objectives are on here. That's pretty cool. There's the stacking limits that I just mentioned, so those are handy. So just the things that are really kind of different about this game from other Axis and Allies games for the most part. So those are fun and handy. And then even the inside of the box is themed, so the North Pole and then all of the surrounding areas. Do we have anything under here? I don't think so. Nope, that is everything that comes in the box. Let's take a closer look at the map. All right, here's the map. Let's take a look here. I think it is, yep, it is a 6-fold map that you can lay out in a flourish, which is kind of fun. So we've got pretty good size here. Let me put the exact measurements for it right here. So yeah, so that's a pretty good size. I mean, when you look at the pieces that go on it, then there should be plenty of space to be able to see everything that's going on. So pretty cool. So yeah, mobilization zone sits up there. Round tracker, the game is never more than 7 rounds. There's your play order printed right on the map, which is something I've been asking for in the Axis and Allies world for a long time, so I love that they did that. Victory points, which is typically how you're going to win the game or to capture one of the bases. And then strategic reserve is the amount of money that has been saved from round to round. You can't save any more than 4 from a previous round. So that's fun. The numbers are victory hexes. These are bases that belong to the various powers. So pretty cool looking map here. I like it. So let's take a closer look at some of the components. All right, we're back. We've got everything laid out and we are ready to set up for our first game. We've got Snowjob, we've got Destro, we've got Cobra, and we've got Admiral Keelhaul ready to go. In the how to play video, we used scenario 1 to teach everyone how to play the game. So that's what we're going to set up here. So if everyone is setting up their own pieces and following what's in the rule book on the right pages, then it should be just a matter of minutes to go from this to this. The box tells us that G.I. Joe Battle for the Arctic Circle is for 2 to 4 players, plays in about 90 minutes, and is designed for ages 14 and up, and I think that that's about right, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. The box also tells us that Matt Hyra is the designer of this game. Of course, it's based on the original work by the legendary Larry Harris. Still, we're really excited to see the impact that Matt Hyra is going to have on the franchise. Well, I like it. The map looks great, the sculpts are cool, and are mostly developed exclusively from the G.I. Joe universe. Now, this is the first hex map I've seen used in an Axis and Allies game, which isn't a bad thing, it's just new. And what I think is a first, though, is Renegade including the exact component count in the rulebook, which is super handy. Now, as for the game itself, some aspects of the game have been streamlined, other parts have been tweaked to fit the game's theme. Cobra's tanks, called Wolves, have an optional first strike ability, while the Joes have Snowcats, and that has a target select ability that's pretty cool, but both abilities only work in the very first round of combat. Those are the kind of subtle changes that you'll see in this game. Additionally, each character in the game has an ability that leans into the theme of their character, which is also pretty fun. The game says that it's for ages 14 and up, and I think that that is accurate. Still, I know that many of us want to try to use this game to introduce younger players to the Axis and Allies universe, and I think that that is a fantastic idea. However, I don't think that I would hit them with the whole game at the same time. This game can also be fun if you play with just the guys and the cool vehicles along with the cruisers that can move them around. That might be a good first game. Next game, maybe you add in the carriers and the air units to go with them. Then maybe the commander's abilities. Bringing folks into the game in stages rather than all at once might be a better way to keep them from getting overwhelmed. Just a thought. Let me know in the comments what you think and what's worked for you and your young generals. Either way, once everyone has a handle on the rules, there's still a lot to explore. The game also comes with 3 different scenarios, each very, very different and a lot of fun in their own right. Plus, I imagine that the community is going to come up with loads of their own along the way, plus a stack of house rules because that's just what we do. Still, before you start down that rabbit hole, you should probably learn how to play this game first. Now, we are working on an absolutely epic how to play video for this game. When it's ready, it'll be right here. If you're looking for more Axis and Allies content, this should have you covered. For our latest bit of mayhem, right this way. And if you're ready to join Board Game Nation, click here to subscribe. My name is Gary Blevins. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.